Romans 15 starts out saying, we who are strong, not just referring to those who are physically strong, who can bench twice their weight, who can squat 5 times their weight. It's referring to those who are spiritually mature, those who are spiritually strong in Christ. And what it goes on to say is it tells us how we should live as strong and mature believers. It says we have an obligation to bear with the failings of the weak and not to please ourselves. I love how Eugene Peterson translated it in the Message. It says, step in. Those who are strong have an obligation to step in and lend a hand to those who falter. Those who are strong, those who are mature spiritually, have an obligation to be taking care of the weaker brothers and sisters in Christ, to walk alongside of them, to help them grow, to help them mature, help them whatever they're dealing with. And as I thought about that today, a couple things just kind of ran through my mind. The first one is we tend to live in a society that as people get older, and I don't mean like 70 or 80, I mean even 40, 50, 30, we begin to think that because we've been around the block a few times, because we're older, we're more mature, whatever, that really people should be looking up to us, that people should be serving us, that people should be meeting our needs, that it should really begin to turn around. We've spent so much of our lives taking care of others that it's probably time for them to take care of us. And as I read this passage, I was just kind of blown away because it goes so much in the face of that. And basically, instead it says, if you are strong, if you consider yourself mature in the faith, you should be pouring yourselves out. You should be taking care of others. It says, and then it goes on to say, not living a life just to please ourselves, which is so interesting because the whole American dream and concept is, can I retire by the time I'm 50 so that I can live for myself and do the things that I've always dreamed of doing? And instead, Paul is saying that when you are strong and mature as a believer, your life will become a life that is poured out in service to help those who are weaker, those who struggle. And so let me challenge you that if you begin to set in that mindset of, man, I've been around a while, it's time for people to take care of me, it's time for people to serve me, it's time for people to listen to me. I don't have to do that work anymore because I'm up here and I'm older, I'm more mature, and I'm wiser now. That is not the scriptural lesson that we learn from Paul as he writes in Romans. Instead, our life is to be founded and based in the life of Christ, the example of Christ, that was a life that was completely poured out to take care of and to redeem the sinful, to redeem the broken, which is all of us. And so not only that, should we be careful not to let our age begin to make us think that people should listen to us. But you know what? The honest truth is that if we are maturing in Christ, one of the signs that we're maturing in Christ and that we're becoming stronger and stronger is that we have a greater passion and a greater heartbeat to take care of the weak, to take care of others. And so I would just ask you that question today. As you're growing, as you're getting older, and if you believe you're maturing in the faith, do you have a greater desire to take care of the weak? Do you have a greater desire to take care of those who are struggling? Because as we grow and mature in Christ, our compassion, our mercy, our love for others should begin to grow stronger and stronger. And instead, we live in a society that seems to think that as people get older and older, it's okay if they're more just straightforward and maybe rude or just too front or upfront or too blunt. But the scriptural call is that we should always live a life as we grow stronger and more mature of pouring ourselves out for others, not living for our own pleasure, not living for our own desire. I don't know about you guys, but that is incredibly challenging for me. I think as a guy, we have a tendency to often want to live for ourselves and take care of our own needs first. And this passage is really about saying, hey guys, if you're strong, if you're mature, take care of those who are weaker. Stand up, be a protector, be strong. And there's so many implications for that, man. Just think about it. If we're strong and mature in the faith, we should be fighting for justice for people. We should be fighting for those who have been abused, for those who have been cast aside in our society. Instead, we should be running out and standing up for them, seeking justice for them. And you know what? That is as much a part of the gospel of Jesus Christ as it is about speaking the truth of who Jesus is and what Jesus did. So it's not that one can go to the void of the other. It's a call to do both. It's a call to share the gospel in vocal and with our mouth, but it's also a call that the gospel should be propelling us to take care of the weak, to take care of those who have been marginalized in our society. So guys, let's grow spiritually strong and start caring for those who are weaker, those who are struggling, those who are having a difficult life, and also stop living so much for ourselves. And in that, the gospel will move forward. In that, the kingdom will spread and will grow. And those that come in contact with us, their lives will be encouraged, their lives will be blessed. And in that, we will bring glory to our Father.